So God taught me the greatest example about problems. All right. Tell you a story about a little girl. All right. 4 days old, she was put on the side of the road at trash. Can we get that one picture up? 4 days old, she was put on the side of the road. All right. For about 10 months, my wife and I have been going through an adoption process for a little girl in China. So the way it works in China, there's no adoption. So what they do is if they don't want the child, or they feel they can't handle the child, they just put them out somewhere. So at 4 days old, right here, this little girl named Wen Ching Xin was put on the side of the road right there. Now she got the name Wen Ching Xin because what happened was the same way it works in all of China. If you're put on the side of the road, the way they try to find your parents, they work real hard. They run an ad in the paper with your picture about that big, and it says the location of where the kid is. And you have 30 days to claim it as your child, or you become a ward of the state. You don't even have a name at that point. So after 30 days, this girl is not claimed. So they give her a name, Wen Ching Xin, and stick her in an orphanage. So my wife and I, we get this picture of this kid, and we decide that's going to be our girl. So we go over to China, and we're standing in this room, and inside of one room is Wen Ching Xin. Y'all going to have a test on that. Everybody's going to tell me what her name is when it's all over. I'm just joking. I couldn't say it. We were in there, and that's how they identify you in China. They don't know my name. I'm Wen Ching Xin. And the way they talk, and they go so fast, half the time they're like, Wen Ching Xin, and I'm just sitting here, just kind of, Wen Ching Xin. And finally our translator would be like, that's you. And I'm like, I don't know what that guy's saying, much less, Wen Ching Xin. So we call her Lucy. All right? So in this room is Lucy. All right? So the only thing that separates this room from the room that we're in is a bed sheet. So here's Lucy in here, right? Put on the side of the road at 4 days old. She didn't have a mom. She didn't have a dad. She didn't have a brother, a sister, a home, a future. She doesn't know Jesus. She'll never hear Jesus. She doesn't know anything. So you think you got problems? I think I have problems. She's in a room right here with nothing. On the other side of the room is my wife and I. And so the way that they identify it, again, is Wen Ching Xin. So they call out Wen Ching Xin, and this little kid bops out, and bam, like that. She's got a mom, a dad, 2 sisters, 2 brothers, a home, Jesus, all of it, like that. A bed sheet separated her from nothing to everything. So when you think you've got problems, you think about this. Hit the next one. She walked out the door, and there she is. She didn't. This is what Wen Ching Xin had. The clothes on her back. That's it. That's it. We pulled this little one-piece thing off, and she had a McDonald's shirt on her. I promise. In the middle of China to wear McDonald's, man. If that's not a problem, I can preach a whole other sermon on that. But all right, so go to the next picture. And I want you to see how God can transform your life. That's a year later. So you go from a kid that's got no home, no future, no mom, no dad, no kids to play with, doesn't know Jesus, never going to hear about Jesus, no joy, won't even go near her mom, like this. And in 1 year, that's what God can do.